KTM 300 Slovakia Edition. Let's milk it a little bit longer. Hey, what's up guys? Rado here with Dirt and Iron again. We are building this KTM 300 and yeah, last time some of you were complaining that I'm milking the build and yeah, maybe sometimes a little bit. So today I think it's a good video to milk it a little bit more. So I want to do a special video for this Trailtech Voyager because it took a lot of time to figure out how to mount it, because I'm putting together different things from different bikes. I have front end from 2017, the bike is 2012. I have this bad boy which is quite bulky. It comes with GPS and all that good stuff, but it does need some room, some space, and I want to tuck it in right under the face plate or the number plate, whatever you call that. So I don't want to have it somewhere on the top where it will change the angle of my number plate. So there is many things that I need to take into consideration. I even made this custom, not me, but Dallas, my friend Dallas made this for me. Custom aluminum bracket that will allow me to mount this thing a little bit closer to a bar pad and hence allow me to run a normal angle on my number plate. So there's a lot of different things coming together. That's why we are going to install it together, and I will tell you what I decided to do. If you are working on a similar project, maybe get some inspiration or just watch what I'm doing. So to installing these things, we need a pickup wire for a speed and mileage. This is going to be installed on your brake caliper. There is a special hole for this with a thread already. We're gonna install that, and then there is a magnet that goes, this little magnet right here, goes onto your brake rotor, and then it will pick up every time. It will register the revolution of your wheel. We'll insert the dimension of the wheel into the computer, and it will give us a correct speed and mileage. Next thing would be this right here is a pickup wire that goes on the spark plug wire, and it will pretty much count the hours of the engine running. So it's like an hour meter. It's a good thing to have. And then this bad boy right here, this is a temperature sensor that we stick into a radiator, and it will give us the engine temperature so we can see everything on our screen. Plus this little thing right here, it's giving you your ambient temperature. So it's a pretty good thing. It has a GPS where I can actually load some maps with SD cards. So I wanted to have for this build something a little bit more sophisticated. I didn't want to go with the Endurance, the small one. I wanted to get some GPS, elevation, temperature, and all that good stuff. If I put it here, right here, it is going to push this thing away, I think too much. And then if I put these rubber straps here, it would deform the entire mask, and it looks kind of weird. I didn't like the look. So that's why we made this bracket right here. So if you put it next to the original one, you're actually gaining ½ inch on these holes. So it would allow me to bring this bad boy closer. And I didn't drill the holes yet because I want to adjust the height of it. So I came home and I was playing with it and trying to find the best solution. But then I realized one thing. If I take this mount and flip it around so the L goes up, then I can mount this thing way lower and it will not push my front headlight too much forward. It will look kind of okay. It was all the way here, and that will push my light in a funny angle. But if I bring it more inside, then that light goes kind of, not the light, but the mask goes kind of around it. It will kind of hug it and hide it inside. I can still see the display is still nice and visible. So I think this would be the best thing. Now I feel sorry that I asked Dallas to do that bracket for me. Sorry, bro. And this Trailtech comes with the same kind of connector, so you just click it together and you should be good to go. Here's a very important part. This is the magnet that I just put it in. On all these rotors you already have pre-drilled hole where you need to slide in your magnet, and then you have a little circlip that you install at the end to keep it in. So just put it in like that. Well, there you go. Beautiful. Here is the pickup sensor. I'm gonna do a little bit of the blue medium strength thread locker on it, and the hole is already there with the correct thread and correct position, so you just need to install it in there. Yeah, just a little more. Alright, there you go. Now we can install our cable. Click this in, and then we got a little zip ties. I think just like that. And hook it up to the brake line all the way to the top. This is the heat sensor that goes into the radiator. As you can see, we already have one installed. This one is feeding the fan, so when this one hits 150 or 170, the fan comes on. This right here is the same stuff, but goes into our computer. They give you some kind of grease, like a heat transfer grease. Last thing to install would be this pickup wire that would serve as an arrow. This one goes on your coil. You go like 4 or 5 times around here. But this thing comes a little bit longer. You don't need to have it this long. So I would recommend to kind of measure where you need to be, and then cut it somewhere. Like this is all that you don't need. So cut it a little bit here, and then expose this red wire, wrap it around, and you're good to go. Alright, there we go. Everything is installed. We can look at the angle. We will move a little bit. So you see, we tucked it in a little bit lower and allowed this mask to have pretty good angle. It's not standing like that, but it has pretty good angle. It's actually coming toward the handlebars, which is exactly the look I wanted to achieve. Alright guys, and this is how deep it sits. It's so much better than sitting right here on the top, pushing everything forward. I think we achieved exactly what we wanted. I can still see what is on the computer. I can still push all the buttons and everything. So I think that's pretty good. Alright, so now that thing is sleeping, but when I spin my wheel and if everything is okay, we should wake this thing up and see some speed there. So let's try. There you go, I just did 3 miles per hour. Trailtech computer is installed and I'm really happy with the end result because I was a little bit worrying about it. I was trying to come up with different ways how to mount it, but this right here I think is the best way. It's tucked inside, you cannot really see it, but when you look inside you have everything you need. It's not sitting on the top, it's not pushing all this thing forward, so I'm really happy how everything turned out. Plus it works. I'm gonna still play with it and set everything correctly, so I measure everything correctly. I'll check the size of my front wheel and do all those good things. But yeah, today I wanted to show you how it's done. As I said, it took a lot of time. I was playing with everything, making sure that all these different pieces come together nicely. So the next video, I promise, the next time we are going to fire this thing up. Alright my friends, well that's about it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know below in the comments and don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.